The federal government says it has not reintroduced subsidy on premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, amid the sudden closure of many filling stations nationwide due to various challenges in the downstream oil sector. The government says the queues at filling stations stemmed from hiccups in product distribution from the south to the north and not a lack of supply. On the flip side, the national president of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASSAN, Festus Osifo, clarified a few days ago that the government is still paying subsidy on petroleum. So, who do we believe and how much is being paid? But more importantly, why is the government denying this? Joining us this morning in the studio to look at the role of communicating and dissemination of information as critical as this is public affairs analyst Chuks Emeka. Good morning and thank you very much for joining us. Good morning, Mr. Emeka. Thank you very much for joining us. All right, also joining us virtually, we do have the spokesperson who will be joining us in a moment. But let's get into the conversation this morning and ask our guests what their thoughts are as regards what exactly the case is. Who is to blame? We've been hearing conversations about subsidy being paid, subsidy not being paid. What exactly is the position? Is subsidy being paid or is subsidy not being paid, sir?
Thank you for having me on the show. All
right. So I don't know if you got the question correctly. What exactly is the true position? Are we paying subsidy? Is subsidy not being paid? When the current administration came into power, the first thing, or one of the proclamations that went viral would be when the president did say that subsidy had come to an end. So we want to ask, what your position is as regards on this. I mean, do you think that, what exactly, do you think that the government is paying this subsidy, or, what are your thoughts as to the confusion happening currently?
All right. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we, of course, I think we are currently just being joined now by the IPMAN spokesperson, Mr. Okadike. Good morning, Mr. Okadike Chinedu. Can you hear us?
My brothers, sister, good morning, Nigerians.
Okay, great to have you. Thanks for joining us. Let's bring you in on the conversation as we try to sort out, with our second guest. The conversation on petrol subsidy being paid, it's still a little confusing. There's people who say that the government is still paying subsidy even after telling Nigeria subsidy is gone. There are people who have analyzed what the landing cost should be. And, I've said that there's no way that the government can convince Nigerians they're not paying subsidy if, because of the figures and the varying figures that they of course, have postulated. So can you share with us, what the truth might be? Is the government still paying subsidy? Is the government likely to still pay subsidy? Or is subsidy completely gone?
Okay, thank you very much. I want to use this opportunity to thank Nigerians for understanding the situation we find ourselves. That some of these issues we are facing now is just policy statement. A policy statement that was made by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and his inaugural speech. This statement just changed the whole scenario. Now, you can also believe and confirm that the GMD of NNPC, Abakare, told us that the forces of demand and supply will determine the market price. And the forces of demand and supply also means that whatever the dollar is currently sold in the parallel market will also determine the cost of petroleum products. Because we are all aware that our four refineries are not functional, they are all moribund for the past 7 years and have never produced a liter. So all the products that we're using in this country is solely imported by NNPCL, which is a subsidiary of the federal government, and some few importers when these deregulation issues were being announced by Mr. President. So it is very, very important to note that since the benchmark of subsidy removal, products were being benchmarked for 595 to 600 naira, based on the prevailing parallel market dollar price. We, the independent marketers, our draft value for 45,000 PMS, that's premium motor spirits, normally known as petrol, rise abruptly from 8.1 million naira to 25 million naira, based on 750, 700 parallel markets forex. Now, we also get in tune that marketers are now importing petroleum products, which they did, and they source their dollar from the parallel market. Most of them who have sourced their dollar from the parallel market, after exhausting their cargo,
Mr. Okadike,
couldn't be able to access dollar again at the rate of 700. Dollars, I'm talking to you now, just slumped to around 1,000 something. As 3, 4, 5 days ago, dollar was 1,300.
So the CBN is still not providing marketers with forex to import?
You take from a parallel market. It's open. The market is open. There was no concession to marketers. The issue that you can source your dollar from any commercial bank, CBN, street hawkers, and all the rest of them. Wherever you can be able to source dollar. With the prevailing market, the price, you can be able to source dollar. So that is the problem. There was no specific benchmark like it used to be before that is being discounted for those who want to import petroleum products. No. So if you can be able to source from CBN, you can be able to source from commercial bank, you can source from wherever you want to source money. Even if it's a commercial bank, the $1 was around 600 and something per naira. Some commercial bank were selling around 600, maybe 2-3 naira difference. So there is nothing much in that. So now going back again to go and pay 1,200 naira, 1,150. There is no way the benchmark or the trading this thing of petroleum products will be 600 naira or 595 naira. No, it will also go up because the purchasing power, which is the dollar, has also gone up. So it means that by their indices of calculation, we are the independent marketers. What we do is garbage in, garbage out. Whenever this product arrives at the depot, dispensing depot, we will put our truck and buy at their prevailing market price, their depot price. It is, as I'm talking to you now, it is only NNPC that has the prerequisite, that has the power to be able to import petroleum products. Because some of these people who have dived into the market either coming back with a lot of losses. And they've huge capital investment. The money is too much. It has even affected with independent marketers. Products we buy for 8.1 million naira. Now it's almost 27 to 30 million naira per 45,000 liters of petroleum products. No commercial bank can be able to pay this kind of money without serious interest.
This means
that is why the business is becoming very, very difficult for all of us.
And I can imagine how tough it must be. Yeah, and I can imagine how tough it must be for independent marketers. I think we did have a similar conversation, a couple of weeks ago. But what you're saying now means clearly that the government is still paying subsidy. If by their argument,
the government
is still paying subsidy.
And they have officially stated that they are paying subsidy. They went to crude buyback. They started exchanging crude oil for finished products. Maybe at the end of the day, they run the indices and find out that they were at a loss. It is better they sell their crude and buy finished petrol products. I think the GMD said they have dropped that idea. They have gone back to buying of petroleum products than making crude exchange.
And if I hear you correctly, the role of NNPC in all of this hasn't changed as well. NNPC is still the sole importer. Is that correct?
Yes, NNPC is still a so important. Even like if NNPC doesn't have a cargo now, everybody, including the independent bank and some of the major marketers, will wait until their cargo arrives. For the past, there was little shortage of sufficiency period of NNPC, although they were saying they have 30 days sufficiency. But I know for the past 2 weeks, it was just recently they opened their portal for independent marketers to buy products. For the past 2 weeks, independent marketers' portals were shut down of buying products. But recently, for the last week, we have started accessing the portal, and the price actually has not changed. The price has been what it used to be before. So there is no way the MD of NNPCL, who is sourcing this petroleum product, federal government will not be helping them to kind of subsidize it. So subsidy is back, but maybe it came with another acronym. Subsidy is back.
All right, we'll come back to you, Mr. Okadike, but let's now bring in Mr. Chuks Emeka, who's joined us here in the studio, to react to some of the things that you said. I don't know if, you know, what your thoughts are on what Mr. Okadike has said.
Anyway, the issue about subsidy has been overflogged over some months now. Now, one of the challenges we have not been able to identify is that NNPC has not been able to tell Nigerians the truth. The landing price today for PMS is 617 as the actual landing price, and you don't expect a marketer to sell anything below. And you want Nigerians to buy that fuel at 540, 550, 560 point price. It is not feasible. I pity the marketers because I don't understand their alignment, what their agreement within NNPC and what they are buying actually. It is very sad and very disheartening that a country like Nigeria that has crude oil cannot refine petroleum distillates and sell to its citizens. You're not even talking about selling outside. You're talking about selling to your citizens here in Nigeria. We cried when this fuel subsidy is being removed that the aftermath of the challenges that we are going to face is going to be disastrous. Most people think we are just blabbing. But today we have seen it now that the policymakers in this country don't even understand what is going on in the oil and gas sector. Nigeria is an OPEC country, which production that we have as of today, though we are not meeting it's about 1.2 to 1.3 barrels per day. There are some countries in Africa and across the world that don't even have a single drop of oil. Yet, they produce and they sell at a price that their citizens can actually identify with. There's so many excuses NNPC is giving to us about as of today, we are even getting the feelers that the petroleum marketers are intending to sell this price very soon at 800 naira per liter. It is actually outrageous. It is not feasible. This thing is going to cause a lot of hardship. A lot of Nigerians are suffering. People don't even understand what is going on. We are talking about even in the urban cities. Go to the villages and understand what people are passing through. It's a disgrace for this country.
So do you think that, because there's now the argument as to whether President Tinubu should have not made that statement on Inauguration Day, maybe they should have found a way to, slowly erase subsidy, in bits. So do you think that maybe that would have been a better plan? Or was Nigeria completely broke at the time that statement was made, and there was no other way to go about it than to end subsidy completely and figure out a way around these rough patches that we're currently experiencing?
Yes, like I said earlier, Nigeria has, let me even say it with all honesty, Nigeria has no business even importing fuel. A lot of challenges are bedeviling this country at the moment, considering even the challenge with getting dollars. As a businessman or an investor in this country, nobody will come to Nigeria to come and do any business on charity grounds. Everybody that's coming to this nation or wants to invest in this nation is doing it for profit's sake. Nobody comes here to do business just because Nigerians are suffering. Let me make them happy. No. That is why we were telling the government earlier that the issue about subsidy removal should have been slowed down. A lot of things should have been fixed first before we talk about removing the subsidy. People didn't want to listen. They felt that we were just blabbing. But we have seen it now that the challenges is now so enormous that even the government doesn't even know what to do. Let's be factual and be realistic without hiding some truth. If I am buying fuel, if I am importing fuel into this country at 617, and you are telling me to sell at below price, that means you are going to pay me subsidy.
Yes.
So if the government is saying they're not paying subsidy, they're actually lying. It's not true. You have to subsidize for people to buy. That is the only reason, and that's the only way you can be able to sell at the price that people are buying now. In fact, we are even having challenges where there is not even fuel to buy.
Yeah.
All right. Let's bring in Mr. Okadike now. Our guest here in the studio just he did say that there's a potential of fuel, or he'd heard that fuel will get to 800 naira. Independent marketers are planning to sell as high as 800 naira. From where you stand, from what you're seeing, would that be an accurate prognosis?
I want to react on the first question, whether it was premature for Mr. President to make the speech he made during his inaugural speech. I really want to agree with Nigerians, even including with organized labor, that we would have continued to sustain the economy the way we are sustaining it, and making that. I want to say it was a careless statement, but it was not a technical statement, because the thing kind of evaporated a lot of rust in the system. Within this period under review, there were stockpile of petroleum products in the country, and the minute that statement was made, products jumped and skyrocketed, and a lot of people, there was a total profiteering in the system. A lot of people have to make some money from that system and continue to sustain the system and continue to project the system. It is also the way the policy of dollar, parallel market. A lot of people who have $100 started manipulating the market, also started profiteering the market. They say this thing is just simple economics. Once there is demand and supply, it has a lot of things to do with price. The excessive demand brings excessive pricing or profiteering in terms of business. So that is why the independent marketer is not the running pot. The issue of independent marketer, we are talking about selling petrol product at 800 and something naira. It's very, very realistic, and I can be able to bring it down and to tabulate it here. Sometimes now in some of their private depots, products are being sold for 605 naira, 600 ex-depot prices, not NNPC portal price. Products are being sold ex-depot price at 610, 608, 600, depending on the private depot you're able to find yourself. And now most of those private depots are located at the around riverine areas, around coastal areas. And those coastal areas is where ships who are bringing this imported product can be able to bat and distribute this product to the tank farms. Also, look at the logistics. And some of this product that was being brought in ex-Lagos will also be taken by some cargoes. And those cargoes will take these small vessels, shuttle vessels. You understand? After taking it from their mother vessel, the daughter vessel will take it to their other destinations. And these are the vessels marketers, within a neighborhood of $70,000, $80,000 can be able to, rent. But now those vessels are close to $200,000, and all these things are built into the export price of the petroleum product. And another thing again, the roads are bad. Diesel is high. A liter of AGO, which is automated gas oil, which is commonly called diesel, is 1,000 plus, 1,200, 1,150, 1,300, and it takes almost 800 to 1 million naira for you to dispatch your truck from Kano to Lagos. By the time you run expenses of transportation and haulage, government is no longer paying PEP. Government is no longer paying equalization. So you also have to build. That is why you find out that petroleum products in the northern part of the country is already around 700 to 800 naira, as the case may be. So if we are looking at the United States dollar, that is giving us, we're buying 1,200. You also look at the same nation, the United States itself, that is also having a refinery and also importing. They are premium motor spirit, or they are basic fuel, because they have basic, they have premium, they have super. Their super is sold around $299. Why the premium is sold around $299. Why their super is sold around three something dollars. So if you sell $299, you call it $3. $3 is around 3,300 naira here in Nigeria. So look at the indices, and they have good roads. They have refineries scattered all over. They have some modular refineries producing.
Well, the economy is very different from ours. You know, and of course, value.
Only developing, because you must have to relate to some of these issues. You understand? You must have to look at the weakness of your naira. You also have to look at the strength of the dollar. You also have to look at the domestic price of this petroleum product from the copious economy that we are also trying to follow.
All right, hold on, Mr. Okadike. It's not looking. I mean, none of the pictures we've painted this morning are looking good, you know, for Nigerians in the next, you know, long while. The only hope at this point now, maybe, is that the naira appreciates and we, you know, find reasons with which, you know, it reduces the cost of bringing in petrol to the, you know, average Nigerian, and of course, maybe the petrol price would come down. I'm gonna, you know, bring in Chuks Emeka, final question to you. There's, of course, projections that 2024 would see Kaduna refinery up and running. 2023, I think Rivers refinery will be, Port Harcourt refinery, will be up and running. Are these all just lies from your, you know, perspective?